Alright, what's up y'all, it's LakerFan here. As y'all can see by the title of today's video, we're ranking all the defensive badges in NBA 2K20 in tiers F through S. We're going to start from the bottom, go to the top. For those of you who have been subbed, you guys know we do this series every now and then, ranking defensive badges, finishing badges, shooting, playmaking, whatever it may be, even like the pie charts of like builds and stuff, ranking them in tiers F through S. So we're going to get right through with this one. Like I said, this is the defensive. We've done the defensive video, this is the third time I believe, and like I said, opinions change. I do this about every 2 to 3 months because like I said, my opinions on all the badges change, and I want to update you guys on how I feel about them. So anyway, we'll get straight through with this. As you can see, we got the little key on the right here. So I just want to quickly explain the color coding system. It works like this. So I used worm as an example. I'll give away where I put worm. So I have worm in the D tier overall. I don't feel like it's a good badge. It's not useful to a lot of builds just in general. So my consensus of where I rank the badge as far as the tier list goes is just in general. I'm talking like it's not useful to a lot of players, or it's just a super trash badge, so that's what belongs in these areas. Now, like I said, for worm specifically, I feel like for 7-3 bigs, it's a lot more useful and probably in the B tier. So the color code is like the best case scenarios of like the badge situation. So, but anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed the video. If you do, feel free to drop a like, sub if you're new, turn on them noties, all that good stuff. If we could try to get this one to 500 likes in the first 24 hours, I really appreciate that. And if you're a new viewer, because I know these videos pull in a lot of new viewers and new subs to me, if you enjoy this type of content, feel free to check out more and just sub if you're new, like I said, but I'm not forcing anybody to do anything. If you enjoy the videos, feel free to check out more. Anyway, to get into the F tier, we got Trapper, Heart Crusher, and Lightning Reflexes. There are different levels to this stuff when it comes to each tier. Obviously, I feel like Trapper is a better badge than Heart Crusher and Lightning Reflexes, but it still fits in the same tier because it's definitely below the ones that I have right here. But anyway, to keep going with this, like I said, Trapper is at least useful in some setting like Pro-Am or Rec, stuff like that. And I just feel like these two right here, Heart Crusher and Lightning Reflexes, this one, it pops up a little orange dot below the person you're defending of where it thinks that they're going to go next. And I just feel like it's just a trash like instance in the first place anyway. If this made it so you had like quicker reflexes, I feel like that'd make complete sense, you know, and if you're able to essentially like a second clamps, if you will, or if you could twist your motions quicker, like reverse, like say you were going left and you wanted to go right quicker than that, like you get what I'm saying, sort of like more agility, I guess, is basically what I'm saying. And then Heart Crusher, it could be a cool idea too, because I think it was the right idea. If you get a steal or a block from your like person you're defending, then their takeover would go down as well. But it just doesn't work like that. It's literally non-functional. Badges like Showtime and Fast Break Finisher and Heart Crusher, stuff like that, they don't even work. And then meanwhile, Flashy Passer is just out of this world with the takeover boost that it gives you. I don't understand how they could possibly like be so different in those aspects. And they're all takeover related badges, and only one of them works. But anyway, moving along to the E tier, we got Off-Ball Pest and Pickpocket. Pickpocket, it's like you would want this badge to work and you would think it's one of the most useful lockdown badges in the game. It was in 17 and 18, stuff like that. I feel like in 19 it became, 19 it was still useful too. This year it's completely trash. I'm gonna just put it like that. But the reason it's in the E tier is because it's still a functional badge. Obviously it's got more function than Heart Crusher, Lightning Reflexes, and Trapper. And then same goes for Off-Ball Pest. It's good in the right situation as far as like Team Pro-Am goes, if you're guarding corner or something like that and you want to stop off-ball cuts. But for the most part, it's not gonna be worth your badge points to put it on. So that's basically my two explanations on that. We won't give too much explanation to the E tier and F tier because in my opinion they're just by far like some really trash badges. Now when we get into the D tier, this is when things start getting nice. So like I was saying in the intro, we have an example of Worm where it's much better for 7-3 bigs than like 6'8 or 6'9 playing the 3, as you can see. So for like overall, just my grade on Worm, it's not that great of a badge, especially for everybody that it pertains to. But for strictly 7-3s, it belongs in the B tier because you need this badge. As far as like an undersized big or a guard, you're gonna be trying to fly around the person that's boxing you out, or like swim. I shouldn't say swim past them because that's what Worm does. But you get what I'm saying. You're trying to like move around the person that's boxing you out manually rather than using Worm to like push through them essentially. So like I said, for 7-3s it's understandable to put this in the B tier, but overall I have it as a D badge. Moving on to Interceptor. This is where, like I said, in the right situation you could call this a C tier badge, especially for somebody that's constantly playing off-ball defense. Again though, for my liking, I feel like it's not worth your defensive badge points. There are some up here in this B tier through like S that if you aren't putting these on the highest level, I just think you're crazy, honestly. And for the most part, I feel like I can still get great passing lanes as long as you have a long wingspan. I think you're pretty solid on this. I just made a new build. It's like a pure slasher with 30 steal rating, right? But it has max wingspan, and that thing can still get passing lanes perfectly fine. I just feel like for the most part, like wingspan is a big factor of interceptions and stuff like that, or just tipping passing lanes at least, and interceptor does allow you to catch them more. But like I said, for my liking of using my defensive badge points, not really worth it in my opinion. Tireless defender, another badge that's good in the right situation. So what I mean by that, as far as me on a 6'9 or taller, or especially like 7'3s and stuff like that, I feel like this badge is obsolete. You don't need it. But I have a 6'5 pure lock, and let me say, bro, you drain stamina so quick the shorter you are, and I don't understand why. I feel like 2K is kind of whack for that, and I'm talking just in ISO. It's not even getting hit by screens, but obviously getting hit by screens drains your stamina that much more. And if you don't play sides on picks, you probably need this badge at a decent level. And like I said, it's not really worth putting on unless it's in the right situation. So again, that's why in the right situation with a guard, it belongs in the B tier. Overall though, for like, you know, every build that's not, you know, fighting through screens or guarding on ball, not necessarily needed. And then we got moving truck. This is like the little brother of post move lockdown. I feel like post move lock is definitely better than moving truck. And you know, the thing with moving truck is they're gonna push you regardless whether you have this badge or not. It does not help getting back down. I feel like for the most part, if somebody has high strength and like good back down punisher, they're gonna get you down in the paint regardless of what your strength and moving truck is. And that's honestly how I feel about that. I'll just put it like this. Basically what I'm saying is, if you have a, like, say post score, right, with 99 strength and Hall of Fame back down punisher, you can't just match it with a pure rim with Hall of Fame moving truck and 99 strength. The post score is still gonna get you down into the paint. Now, what's really good is this post move lockdown. Now I have it in the C tier. I don't have it any higher than that either, as far as like, you know, the right situation. If you want to make a very specific situation and say on the 1v1 court, then I would put this in the A or B tier probably. But like I said, there's too many specifications for that. I'm just gonna give my, you know, details on post move lockdown. So I used to really trash this badge. I used to consider this like an E tier or maybe D tier, and I gotta say, my newfound love for this badge when I'm on my 6'5 pure lock is beautiful. Like I'm talking, it's so nice because you can just body these dudes up when they post, like, you know, try to hit you with the post spins and stuff like that, the little left stick post spins and stuff like that too. And I gotta say, this thing is actually really functional and really good. Now, the reason I have it so low though is just the function of needing it is very rare. You don't see many post scores on the 2v2 court anymore, especially not the 3v3. You never really saw that in the first place. But for the 1v1 court specifically, this is a great badge to have. Like I said, I'd probably put it in the B or A tier if it's just for 1v1. Now, rebound chaser. Again, this kind of goes in the same box as Worm, where I feel like for an undersized big or a guard, this isn't the most needed. Me personally, I'm on a 6'9 finisher. For those who have never seen my videos or anything like that, 6'9 finishing and defense pie chart. I don't use any rebound chaser, and I use bronze box, and I play the 3 at all times. I feel like I do really, really well when it comes to the rebounding. And like I said, for those who have good vert and good speed and stuff like that, rebound chaser is not a necessity in my opinion, but it's still a good badge. And in the right situation for like a 7'3 big or something like that, I understand putting it in the B tier. If you guys want to believe it's A tier in those situations, let me know if you're a 7'3 big who's watching this and you really think like that it belongs in the A tier, or even, I don't know why you put it in the S tier, but I don't know. Anyway, moving along. Pick dodger. So this kind of caps out at the C tier again. I feel like it's a good badge to have. If you're a guard, it's pretty necessary. I would even say I probably could have put this in the B, but I would just put it like this. If you don't have pick dodger, it hurts a lot. If you do have pick dodger, it still hurts. I'm gonna put it like that. Like if they buff this badge, it would honestly make it so people don't really complain about screens and stuff like that either. And I gotta say, you do still see lockdowns really sliding through picks pretty well. And like I said, it's pretty functional, but it's not the best badge, you know, when it really like compares to these ones in the B tier or A or S. So this is when we get into things like chase down, rim protector, box, and then I got defensive leader. I'll start with D leader because you're probably like wondering why this is S tier in the right situation. I'm gonna put it like this. If you're running, say, 3 locks on some like toxic stuff, right, in the 3v3, or for instance, if you're just not guarding ball or you're not guarding big and you're just in the corner and you're a lockdown build, I'm gonna put, especially for like team prime and stuff like that too, that's when this could be the most functional badge because you're helping your teammates out, you're reading what percentages they all got to shoot from like certain spots. If you're a good communicator, that's when this badge comes into clutch, like big time. And then like I said, if you're not guarding on ball or you're not guarding the big, it helps your teammates out by having like 4 extra badge, or I almost said 4 extra badge points, 4 extra attributes in every situation, and that's big time for those guys who are trying to guard on ball and guard the bigs. So Again, overall I'd call this a B tier badge, but in the right situation on 3v3 or Team Pro-Am, when you're not really guarding ball, if you are able to have this badge, that's when this thing is S tier. Now, for like a big man on the backside, or even if a guard carries it, it's a little bit of a waste of your badge points, because I feel like you should definitely have, you know, things like chase down, rim protector, box if you're a big man, things like clamps, pick dodger, and maybe even some, actually I don't know, some of these are kind of iffy, maybe tireless defender, but anyway, you get the deal. Moving along, we'll get to chase down. This right here is great for anybody. I'm talking like guards trying to guard ISO, or, you know, bigs trying to hedge higher on the screens and stuff like that. I just feel like this, combined with even like rim protector or something like that too, is big time. And again, as a big on the backside, it allows you to play higher backside defense. You can step up a lot higher and still return to the paint, chase down like say a rim sharp or a finisher that's on the backside of it. I will say it's hard to get those chase down blocks though if you're going for it on like a lob, so that's when the finisher becomes a little bit harder. But for like rim sharps, if you're playing up high and they still roll on you, boom, chase down artist helps you a ton. And then like I said, for ISO, trying to chase people down too, it's still really good and functional. So moving along to rim protector. I don't know if a lot of people know this. I feel like this goes like kind of under the rug a little bit, but I don't know if you guys knew this, but rim protector boosts your takeover for every block that you get. There's probably a lot of novices that don't really know that. So the higher the level, the more takeover you get per block. Now, it also obviously helps you get more blocks on top of that too. I feel like it's a great badge. As far as like why I didn't put in the A tier, it just doesn't really fit in with a lot of those. I feel like these right here, these three that are in the B tier are good B tier badges. Like I said, on defense, there's a lot of good badges, but I couldn't just literally have 7 A tier badges and like, you know, 1 B tier or something like that. So I just kind of leveled them out a little bit, but again, these are all really good B tier badges. Box, like I said, it's not, I only use it on bronze, but it's one of my favorite bronze badges. I'll put it like that. I don't need it any higher than that. I just feel like it gets the job done for what I like it. And a lot of people still use this on Hall of Fame. It's obviously like, you know, a very loved badge in the community. Like I said, it's not exactly the most necessary to high level, but if you took it away from me, if on just bronze, I would hate it. So anyway, moving along, we got the A tier badges. There are 3 right here, and then we have, actually, matter of fact, I'll just give away the S tier as well, because this is like obvious once you see the 3 A tier. So we'll get into all 4 of these together. Obviously, the one that doesn't really stand out as much is Brick Wall, but I feel like that's just because it's an offensive badge. Obviously, it doesn't really pertain to like, you know, the defensive mindset, and a lot of rim sharps alone don't even use this badge. Obviously, this is more of an inside big man type thing, or if you're a rim sharp and you like to run pick and pop, it makes complete sense too. But anyway, you get the deal. It's still a really good badge when it comes to like the function of your offense. Obviously, a lot of people rely on this thing. I myself rely on this because I wouldn't be able to get open in the paint unless I could get my guard open, and then the big man has to step up to my guard, and then I just, you know, take advantage of that and get the easy dunks or lobs or whatnot and stuff like that. You know, you guys know the deal if you've been watching the channel. Anyway, moving along to clamps. This is like probably, I would say, the most or the second most important badge when it comes to backcourt defense, and it's really underrated in the aspect of using it on your big man. Now, this is why I say that. If you play switch everything, like let's say you're playing stage 3s, because I do that very often, right? And I'm on the backside, the big on their team setting the pick, boom, we're switching it, now I'm on their guard. Now, they think that's all sweet, they think it's a good situation. I'm a 6'9" lockdown in the first place. I don't know why they like want to target that matchup. But anyway, then the guard starts ISOing me. Me having Hall of Fame clamps is big time for that, yo. Like, I gotta explain, if you're in the right comp situation where you need to switch everything and you're a big that uses this badge, it's very important. Now, for rec, or say like Park 3s or something like that, or even Park 2s when dudes are like, you know, I'm just gonna sit paint and stuff like that, then obviously as a big you don't need this, and as a guard it's still very premium. So again, I want to address, this is probably the most or second most important badge when it comes to being a guard. Now moving along to Pogo Stick. This is a badge that's probably the second best or the best badge when it comes to bigs. Now, if you're like a 7'3" big, like a big, you probably don't need this. You're not going to get beasted on if you're like, you know, holding your hands up or something like that. But for those of you who are trying to like, you know, play undersized big, you guys know Pogo Stick is one of the most important badges in the game. For me personally, this is definitely in my S tier because I feel like if I'm playing 2s, this thing's on Hall of Fame at all times, no matter what. The 3 badges that stay on Hall of Fame, no matter what, are Intimidator, pogo stick, and brick wall for me. One that stays on bronze at all times is box, and then rim protector and chase down vary a little bit, but I usually rock out with Hall of Fame chase down too, just because I like to play the high hedge defense and all that stuff too. But again, for pogo stick, it's super premium because it allows you to play good into your defense even if you're short. And like I said, it honestly is a good idea, because I'm gonna put it like this: the more athletic you are, the more you should be able to bounce, you know, like back up quicker when you come down. Dudes like Dwight Howard, Bismack Biyombo, if y'all know who those are. Obviously, those are the two dudes that come to mind when this badge is, like, you know, put in the real life situations. Because Dwight, that's what he made. Honestly, that's what made him so great, is his just quick burst ability, where he can just bounce up and then bounce up again, and just, you know, he's just got so much like quick bounce, and that's what I'm talking about with pogo stick. It makes complete sense, and like I said, it allows you as an undersized big to be able to play good defense. I understand Dwight Howard's not really an undersized big in real life aspect, but you guys get the deal. Anyway, moving along, Intimidator, the S tier badge that I have all alone at the top of the mountain. So this is good in every situation. You need it as a lockdown, you need it as a guard, like if you have low defense even, and you need it as a big man. Now, it works for interior defense contest, it works for perimeter defense contest. It's a great badge. It makes people miss shots that are like unruly, and you're just standing right next to them without your hands up, and you get like a 40% contest. It's a crazy badge. It makes people miss like unthinkable shots. I'm gonna just put it like that. Even having it makes people miss dunks when they're wide open. It's an insane badge. It belongs in the S tier all alone, just because of how dominant it is in comparison to every other badge on here. And like I said, it's just a glue badge. Everybody needs it, and that's what makes it S tier. So anyway, appreciate y'all watching. If you made it to the very end of the video, put clamps in the comments to show your support that you made it all the way through. And like I said, if we get this one to 500 likes in the first 24 hours, I'd really appreciate that. I'll have an update for you guys on my Pure Slash video tomorrow, so we'll get straight into that, you know, tomorrow's vid. But anyway, like I said, I hope y'all enjoyed, and if you did, feel free to drop a like, sub if you're new, turn on them noties, all that good stuff. And other than that, take it easy, man. Peace.